Imagine walking into someone's kitchen and being amazed by how spotless it is with no dishes or food mess anywhere. Surprising, right? I once visited a friend's house and her kitchen was so clean I thought she never cooked. But soon, I realized it was all thanks to a few simple prep tips that I had never considered. In this video, I'll share with you some easy meal prep tips that will not only keep your kitchen neat, but also make cooking faster and more efficient without the constant cleaning. After using these tips myself, I've not only saved time, but also kept my kitchen tidy without the usual chaos after every meal. The first tip is something I wish I had known years ago. Let me share it with you now, so don't miss out. Make the most of leftovers in your fridge to save both time and money. Instead of throwing away leftover food or letting it spoil, repurpose it for the next meal. For example, leftover chicken can be used in a stir-fry or salad, and extra potatoes can become potato salad or added to a soup. Roasted vegetables can be turned into a frittata, and cooked rice makes an easy fried rice meal. By checking your fridge regularly and getting creative with leftovers, you can stretch meals into 2 or 3, cutting down on grocery costs and reducing food waste. Repurposing ingredients also takes the pressure off meal planning, as you're using what's already available, saving you time and effort. But remember, leftovers should be eaten soon after the meal. Don't keep food that's been sitting too long. Once it's past its prime, it's not safe to eat. Developing the habit of using leftovers not only makes meal prep easier, but also promotes a more sustainable and practical approach to cooking. The first thing is preparing sauces ahead of time. This is one of the tips I wish I had known sooner, as it has saved me countless hours and made meal preparation much easier. As a busy woman, juggling work and home life, I often found myself exhausted after a long day, not wanting to spend hours in the kitchen making sauces from scratch. However, one day I decided to make a small but effective change: to prepare sauces in advance. Instead of making sauce each time I needed it, I started preparing them on weekends and storing them in small containers for use throughout the week. This simple habit has saved me a lot of time on busy evenings. For example, marinara sauce is one of my go-to sauces. Instead of sautéing onions, garlic, and then cooking the sauce from scratch every time I began making it in bulk on weekends. I would sauté onions and garlic until soft, then add blended tomatoes and season it with herbs like oregano, basil, and a little black pepper. Once the sauce is done, I let it cool and divide it into small containers. Then when I need it, I can just reheat the sauce and use it for pasta, pizza, or any other meal without having to start from scratch. If you're like me, always busy and trying to juggle work and family life, preparing sauces ahead of time will make a huge difference. Imagine coming home after a long day feeling drained, and the last thing you want to do is cook from scratch. But when everything is ready, you only need to reheat the sauce and dinner is ready in minutes. With marinara sauce prepared in advance, you can whip up a quick pasta, pizza, or even lasagna without spending an hour in the kitchen. This small change not only saves you time, but it also makes you feel more in control of your kitchen. You no longer have to stress about what to make for dinner when you already have key ingredients prepared. I can confidently say that this simple step has made my cooking process so much smoother and stress-free. You don't have to worry about rushing around the kitchen at the last minute. Instead, everything is ready for you to create a delicious meal in no time. To reduce morning stress, prepare meals for your kids ahead of time. Every morning, I used to race against the clock to get everything done. To make it easier, I began prepping breakfast the night before. This includes making toast, hard-boiled eggs, or prepping smoothie ingredients. I also pre-cut fruit and store it in containers so the kids can grab it without me cutting it fresh in the morning. Sometimes I'll prepare porridge or soup the night before and simply reheat it. Since adopting this habit, my mornings are much smoother. With breakfast ready to go, I no longer feel rushed. My kids can eat quickly, and I don't have to worry about cooking from scratch every morning. Instead, I just reheat what's prepared and everything falls into place. Prepping meals ahead of time gives me more control over my mornings. I avoid the scramble to cook and can focus on other tasks, like getting my kids ready for school. Additionally, this routine helps me ensure they get a healthy breakfast without the rush. By preparing meals the night before, I save time and avoid the stress of last-minute cooking. This also guarantees that the kids have a nutritious meal and don't skip it in the rush. On top of that, waking up early to prepare their meals means I also have time to squeeze in some exercise, setting the tone for a more productive day. Next, don't forget to take advantage of kitchen gadgets that can save you time and effort in meal preparation. I've always been someone who values efficiency in the kitchen, and over time, I've learned to rely on certain kitchen tools that make meal prep quicker and easier. Whether it's a food processor, a blender, or a vegetable chopper, having the right tools can significantly reduce the time you spend chopping, slicing, and mixing. For instance, I used to spend ages chopping vegetables by hand, but once I invested in a high-quality vegetable chopper, it completely changed the game. Now I can chop an entire onion, bell pepper, and zucchini in a matter of seconds, which saves me so much time, especially when I'm cooking for the whole family. Another tool that's been a game changer for me is a blender. I use it not only for smoothies, but also for making soups, sauces, and dressings. Instead of spending time stirring and blending by hand, I can just throw everything into the blender, turn it on, and within minutes I have a perfectly smooth sauce or soup base ready to go. For instance, when I make homemade tomato sauce or creamy soups, I just blend the ingredients after cooking them, and it's ready to serve in no time. If you're like me and don't have endless hours to spend in the kitchen, using tools that speed up the process is essential. These gadgets take a lot of the grunt work out of cooking, leaving you with more time to focus on other tasks or simply to relax. I know that on busy days, the last thing I want to do is spend hours preparing ingredients. But with the right tools, cooking becomes less of a chore and more of a breeze. Having the right kitchen gadgets not only saves time, but also makes cooking feel less overwhelming. Using kitchen tools helps to streamline your cooking process. By investing in time-saving gadgets, you can reduce the amount of manual labor required and thus make cooking less tedious. For example, a stand mixer can help you prepare dough or batter in minutes, which is especially useful if you bake often. A slow cooker or Instant Pot can also save you time by cooking meals while you're doing other things. These tools make it possible to prepare nutritious meals with minimal effort, giving you more time to spend on the things that matter most. For me, one of the best purchases I made was a food processor. Not only does it chop, slice, and dice in seconds, but it also helps me mix batters, make dough, and even chop herbs finely. A few weeks ago, I was making a batch of veggie fritters for dinner. Normally, I would have spent 15 to 20 minutes chopping all the veggies by hand, but with my food processor, it took less than 5 minutes. I saved so much time and still had a delicious, nutritious meal on the table in no time. This tool has been indispensable, especially when I'm in a rush or trying to make dinner after a long day. Once you've mastered using kitchen tools, you'll start noticing just how much time they can save. But tools alone aren't enough. You also need to make sure your fridge is stocked and organized to maximize efficiency. Next, I'll share tips on how to keep your fridge organized so that you can always find what you need without wasting time looking for ingredients. Next, don't forget to keep your fridge organized to optimize time and save effort during meal prep. I've realized that having an organized fridge really makes a difference when cooking. When everything has its place, I can easily find what I need without rummaging through the fridge. I divide my fridge into separate sections for fruits, vegetables, fresh produce, and leftovers. Each time I prepare a meal, I don't waste time looking for ingredients. I just open the right section and grab what I need. Additionally, I label containers with the date to know which food needs to be used first. This helps me avoid wasting food as I can quickly check and know what's still good to use. It's simple, but the system saves me time and ensures I make the most of what I have. At first, I didn't realize how much a messy fridge was slowing me down. But once I organized everything, cooking became much easier and less stressful. Instead of spending time searching for ingredients, I now know exactly where to find everything, which makes meal prep feel more manageable. An organized fridge helps you feel more in control of your kitchen, reducing the stress of cooking, especially on busy days. Keeping your fridge organized not only saves time, but also reduces food waste. When you can easily see everything, you're less likely to forget about ingredients and let them go bad. You'll also know exactly what you have, so you won't buy unnecessary duplicates. This also makes meal planning easier because you can quickly check what you already have and plan meals accordingly, saving both time and money. For example, last week, I wanted to make a vegetable stir-fry for dinner. Because my fridge was organized, I immediately knew I had all the ingredients I needed: leftover chicken, bell peppers, and broccoli. I didn't waste time searching or buying extra ingredients. Another time, when I saw some fresh spinach that needed to be used up, I quickly tossed it into a salad instead of letting it go bad. These small wins make a big difference in saving time and reducing waste. With your fridge now organized, meal prep becomes much easier. But organizing your fridge isn't the only thing you need for smooth cooking. Next, let's talk about how to store fresh herbs properly to extend their shelf life and make cooking even faster. The next tip is to store fresh herbs properly, helping them last longer and ensuring you always have fresh ingredients on hand in your kitchen. Fresh herbs are a staple in cooking, but they tend to spoil quickly if not stored properly. I've tried many methods, and one of the most effective is treating herbs like flowers. For herbs like cilantro, basil, and parsley, I cut the stems and place them in a jar with a little water. Then cover it loosely with a plastic bag and store it in the fridge. This method helps them stay fresh for up to a week. For herbs like rosemary, thyme, and oregano, I usually wrap them in a damp paper towel, put them in a plastic bag, and store them in the fridge. If I can't use the herbs in time, I freeze them. I chop herbs like dill and mint, place them in an ice cube tray, fill it with olive oil or water, and freeze them into cubes. When needed, I just pop out a cube and use it directly. If you're like me, you'll understand the frustration of throwing away wilted herbs from your fridge. Storing herbs properly not only helps you save money, but also prevents food waste. With fresh herbs always on hand, you can cook confidently without worrying about missing ingredients. This is especially helpful when you're short on time but still want to make a flavorful and nutritious meal for your family. Storing fresh herbs properly helps you save time, going to the store money since you don't need to buy fresh herbs every time, and it significantly reduces food waste. Additionally, when you have fresh herbs ready to go, you're more likely to use them in your cooking, adding more flavor to your meals without the extra hassle. This also supports a healthy eating habit because you'll always have fresh ingredients available for each meal. I remember once buying a bunch of cilantro and not being able to use it all in time. Instead of letting it wilt in the fridge, I placed it in a jar of water and stored it in the fridge. After a week, the cilantro was still fresh, and I was able to use it for taco salads or even soups. This storage method works great for basil too, which I often use in pasta or salads. When fresh herbs are always available, cooking becomes much easier. Storing herbs properly doesn't just save you time and money, but also makes your kitchen more efficient and organized. Implementing these simple tips will make your cooking process easier and more effective. Try applying these methods, and you'll notice a significant difference in how you manage your ingredients and prepare meals. These are 6 simple tips I apply every week to keep my kitchen organized and save time. No pressure, no rush. If you're looking to save time and make cooking easier, try incorporating just one of these small steps. Sometimes all it takes is changing one habit to make everything feel lighter and more efficient. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because you deserve a kitchen that feels comfortable and inspiring every day. And if you're interested in discovering more tips to improve your kitchen routine, be sure to check out the upcoming videos.